Welcome everyone to today's energy medicine yoga class. And today's class is about allowing the inspiration from within you to bubble up and be expressed. And we're going to use the metaphor of a butterfly today. So just take a moment before we start, and I'm practicing from a chair, which you're welcome to do. You're also, of course, welcome to do this practice standing or on your mat. But let's just take a moment before we get going. Just bringing your feet hip distance apart, resting your hands on your thighs or over your heart. And I just want you to tune into the butterfly, whatever that means to you. And when I think about butterflies and caterpillars, which is really how butterflies begin, they begin as a caterpillar, and then they go through this incredible, absolutely incredible transformation as part of their life cycle, where they literally dissolve all aspects of who they were as a caterpillar and begin to emerge and transform into a butterfly. And we're all butterflies. We're all butterflies. And we all go through these incredibly beautiful, healing, inspirational transformations during different periods of our life. And there's a real energy associated with change and with transformation. And there's a real power that sits within us. And so in today's practice, I really want you to think about and hold the intention of your butterfly energy. So just tune into that for a moment. And you can bring a little smile to your face as you just allow your beautiful butterfly energy just to begin to come up for you. And we're going to start today's practice like we start many of my practices. And we'll just start by gently wringing out the wrists. So just a gentle wringing out the wrists. And we're going to clear our gates on our hands. And really what we're doing at the beginning of practice when we do our gates and our spooning, which we'll do in a second, is we're just preparing the body. We're preparing the body. We're preparing our energy systems to be able to move. And we don't need to spend a lot of time on this today. Just set your intention to open up your gates. And so many of you have done this practice many, many times. And if you're new, we're simply massaging down from the wrist, down in between the bones of our hands, pinching off in between each finger. And then we're pulling the energy off each finger itself. And our meridians begin or end on our fingers and on our toes. And we're going to do the same thing on our feet. So you can hug one knee in and just take some ankle circles here. Again, just opening up the energy, and then just gently allow that ankle to come over the other knee. And again, just begin to open up the energies on the feet. And we're going to do a little bit more on the feet today than we normally do. So we're going to start with clearing the gates. So again, we're massaging down from that ankle bone, down those bones on our foot and pinching off in between the toes. And then we're going to kind of pull the energy down off each toe, kind of giving it a little squeeze at the end. And then we're going to flip our hand back and forth. And if you've got your spoon, we can spoon the bottom of our feet. And you can spend we could spend our entire time today just opening up the feet and allowing ourselves to get really grounded. And we're not going to do that because there's some other really delicious stuff I want to share with you, but it is a really great practice to open up those feet, open up the hands, really feel yourself grounded. So you can kind of just put your spoon in your other hand. And now I want you to take the opposite hand to your foot and just begin to make some counterclockwise circles over the sole of the foot. And just allow your intuition to guide you here. I don't want you overthinking it. You can make slow circles or fast circles, big circles or small circles. And I'm probably about 4 inches off the bottom of my foot, but you could be right on the foot, like just hovering, or you could come out here a little bit further. It really doesn't matter. Just allow yourself to open up this big chakra on the bottom of your foot. And I'm really sensitive to energy, so I can really feel this. And you might as well. And that's amazing if you do. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to spend another few seconds here opening up this bottom of the foot. And then I'm going to invite you to stand. And I want you just to tune in to how your 2 feet feel. And if you can feel a difference in how the bottom of your feet feel grounded compared to each other, just after this little tiny quick grounding practice. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just stand. And I just want you to notice, how does that feel? And I can tell you the foot we just worked on feels about 2 feet longer than the other one. Like it feels like I'm right plugged into the earth, where the other one, it feels like it's cut off right at the bottom of my feet. So we can talk about that at the end of the practice. But I just wanted you to feel that difference. And so we're going to do our other foot. So let's just hug that knee in. Take some nice ankle circles here. Just allowing that energy to begin to open in that joint. And then gently bring that foot over the other thigh. And again, we're going to start by clearing the gates. So we're going from that ankle joint that we just began to open, and we're pulling that energy down the foot, both on the top and on the bottom, with a little bit of pressure. And we're just kind of like it's a tube of toothpaste. We're just trying to get that toothpaste out the end of the tube. You can kind of think about it like that as you're doing this practice. And we're squeezing down in between the toes. And they may be a little tender. It's often just an indication that there's a little bit of energy stuck there. Not the end of the world. Just pull it off. Use your mind and your intention. And then we're going to pull down each foot. And I just like to kind of smooth and maybe squeeze the outside of the foot a little bit if that feels good to you. If you've got your spoon, we can come back and spoon our feet. And just digging in there. Beautiful. And just notice I just took a really deep breath. So I've just, energy's just shifted within me. And, maybe you notice that as well. Just get curious. Your body's always talking to you. And then you can put your spoon down and let's make those counterclockwise circles. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but you can, if grounding is something that you are curious about and trying to get better at, it's a skill, it's a habit like anything else. And we can all become better grounders with some practice. So, this little tiny practice here at the beginning, you could spend 20 minutes doing if you wanted to. You could spend even more time if you wanted to. But we are just tuning in here. We're just opening up that foot, getting ourselves really nice and grounded so we can fly like butterflies by the end of today's practice. Okay, let's just stand up and make sure you feel balanced again, and I do. So that's really beautiful. So coming to the edge of our chair, let's rub our hands together one more time. Shake them off. Bringing both hands to the back of our low back and just begin to circle the back of your low back. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Still the hands and just take a very gentle, small back bend. Just opening up the heart just a little tiny bit. Slowly begin to smooth your hands up over top of the hips, in front of the groin, flipping back and forth here. Taking a nice deep inhale, smoothing up the front of the body, up the front of the neck, cupping the mouth, making 3 audible exhales. Bringing our fingertips to our temples, just massaging our temples for a second. Taking a nice deep inhale, smoothing up behind the ears, cupping the side of the throat just for a moment. Dropping our hands over our heart.